They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But some betrayals are so profound, they require something more or elemental. Something fiery. This is not a story of a simple insult or a broken heart. This is a story of a queen, betrayed by her own people, who watched her family and her kingdom crumble. It's a tale of how she rose from the ashes, and then, with purpose, turned the entire city into ashes itself. This is the story of how Queen Lyra of Eldoria didn't just get even. She made a monument to her grief. My name is Lyra, and I once ruled over the most beautiful city in the realm. Eldoria was a beacon of hope, a hub of culture and innovation. The people loved me, and I loved them. My husband, the king, was my rock, and our daughter, my entire world. I believed in my people's goodness. I believed in the strength of my kingdom. I believed in a love that could weather any storm. I was wrong. The betrayal didn't come from an enemy kingdom. It came from within. Lord Malachi, my trusted advisor and my father's old friend, was consumed by greed and envy. He conspired with a rival kingdom, selling them Eldoria's most guarded secrets for a promise of power. He turned my own council against me, feeding them lies about my husband's weakness and my daughter's lineage. They plotted in the dark while I ruled in the light. The day of the annual harvest festival, the enemy army struck. They breached our walls with a speed that could only be explained by betrayal. My husband fought to the last breath. I watched as my daughter was ripped from my arms. And then I was thrown into the city's deepest dungeon, a prisoner in my own home. I was not just a queen who had lost her throne. I was a mother who had lost her child, a wife who had lost her husband. I had lost everything. For weeks, I languished in the dark. Lord Malachi came to visit me, not to show mercy, but to gloat. He told me my husband's death was his victory, and that my daughter was his key to a new kingdom. He thought he had broken me. He was wrong. In that moment, the tears dried up. The grief turned into a burning fire in my veins. They had taken my everything. Now I would take their everything. And I knew just how to do it. My father, the king before me, had taught me about the city's hidden passages and secret tunnels. He had always said, a ruler must know their kingdom, from the highest tower to the deepest sewer. Using a small key I had sewn into my dress, I escaped. I found the last remaining loyalists, a small group of engineers, scholars, and a few soldiers who had escaped the purge. We were outcasts in our own city. But we had a secret weapon, knowledge. Eldoria was built on a network of underground aqueducts and gas lines. My father, with my help, had created a series of powerful, yet hidden, gas vents to regulate the city's air quality. But they also had another purpose. They could be used to distribute something else. Something far more destructive. We worked in secret, building a series of devices that would open the gas vents at key points across the city and then ignite a spark. It was a plan so precise, so devastating, it was almost beautiful. On the night of the new moon, we executed our plan. Each of us took a device and a map of our targets. We planted them at the homes of the council members who had betrayed us, in the main square where the coup had taken place, and most importantly, at the palace where Lord Malachi slept. It was a silent act, a ghost in the night, a promise of a reckoning to come. I stood on a hill overlooking Eldoria and held the orb. I had a choice to turn back, to spare the city. But the memory of my husband's fall, of my daughter's tear-streaked face, burned hotter than any flame. With a single press of a button, the city's gas lines opened, and the first spark ignited. The city that had betrayed me now began to burn. It wasn't random, it was precise. The homes of the traitors went first. Then the council chambers. Then the palace. The fires raged for a week. They found the charred remains of Lord Malachi in the rubble of his palace. The rival kingdom's delegation, who had celebrated their victory, died in their sleep. My revenge was complete. The city was a monument to their betrayal and my grief. It was gone, but so were they. I didn't get my husband back. I didn't get my daughter. But I got justice. The traitors were gone. The kingdom they tried to steal was no more. I had nothing left to lose, so I gave them nothing left to take. They underestimated a woman with nothing left to lose. And now, I am building a new kingdom, a new life, from the ashes of the old. I am not a queen without a kingdom. I am a survivor who knows the cost of betrayal. What's the most extreme revenge story you've ever heard? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more stories of justice served, make sure to like and subscribe to A When Tables Turn.